Hello. Camera on.
So now I've got this probably stripped bleeder screw down on the front brake caliper, where if that thing pops out, I lose brake pressure at both front brakes, and I'm probably fucked, you know. But it felt tight, like I backed it off and it felt okay. It just didn't sit well. And so I rode it like that for a little while, and I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, I even took it up through the Skyway and all that, and I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that this brake bleeder might come undone at any given moment. So I basically shelved the bike for the rest of the winter and said, I'm gonna rebuild the calipers, and I've got to buy a new caliper, because even though the like the caliper's the female portion, and it's made out of, I think, steel, but we don't know exactly what the bleeders are made out of, and it's kind of hard to tell which one's gonna strip, right? Because one's gonna give, the other one's not, you know. So I had to wait until I had the money to do it, and all this maintenance was backing up. So I ended up letting the bike sit until I could get my tax returns, and that gave me enough money to basically overhaul the braking system on the whole bike. I ended up changing the brake lines. I've got Galfer stainless steel braided lines. Rebuilt both front, well, I rebuilt the front right caliper and got a used left caliper and rebuilt it, and then redid the I changed the oil in the shocks and changed the seals on the shocks, because the fork seals, because one of them had been leaking for a while. That was another thing that was scaring me. It's like it was leaking down on the brakes, and yeah, that brake pad was toast. Well, the whole caliper was toast, really. Very little oil came out of that fork, so definitely a much different feel now. But all of this, you know, from the time I fucked up the bleeder, which, by the way, neither set of thread stripped, but the base where the bleeder is a semi-blind hole, where like the very center of it has a hole through it, but the rest of it's is a bowl. I tightened it down so much that it punched through the back side of the bowl, and it started to push metal out of the way. So ultimately, it was not unsafe the way it was, but it was very unsettling. And frankly, to me, that's, you know, one and the same. If you can't trust it, don't ride it, you know. That whole project also ended up costing way more than expected. I did not realize how many tools I was going to have to buy, and ended up going like $700 over budget because of various things, not just tools. I think I spent like $500 on tools alone, some of which were in the budget, but no, there was just a lot of little shit. I also changed, I pulled the 12 volt socket out of the dashboard and put a USB with a voltmeter in it. It's a dual USB up there. And then, I don't think you could see it, but under the, no you can't, under the handlebar over here on the top of the fairing is another USB plug. And I did that because I want to be able to plug in my GPS, my camera on my helmet, and my spot tracker can be fed through line power too. So I need 3 outlets. And of course I plugged in the, I set this one up backwards, so it doesn't work right now. I've got to take the fairing off and redo that, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so that's why you haven't seen me posting videos or doing any writing, is frankly the bike's been unrideable for a while. And for reasons I'll get into here in a minute, it took a very long time to do the work. I think all the work that I did, it took a little over a month to, like, from when I actually took the fairings off to when I got done putting them back on, was a month. And then the battery was dead, so I had to buy a new battery for it and deal with that. That was fun. But yeah, so we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, it's good to be back, and hopefully too many of y'all haven't run away. It's been a hectic year, and also, you know, something else that doesn't help. I kind of look forward to going to work, and it's not for the reason that a lot of people probably would think, you know, because my job's really easy right now. Frankly, it gets me out of the house. You know, there's days where I show up to work like 15, 20 minutes early because I just got tired of sitting in the fucking house. And when that happens, the days end up going by very quickly. So a week disappears and it's like, holy shit, you know. I haven't done anything. I've got hours of dash cam videos for Reddit that I need to dig through, and I just haven't taken the time to do it, you know. But anyway, this is getting a little bit long, so I'm gonna kill it, and we'll be back in a second.
Recording stopped. Goodbye.